Hey guys, it's Eno, and it's my turn to teach you about tokens and characters in Roll20. The two are very closely tied, and they're the way that the players can interact with your board, so they tend to be very important and have a lot of little tools to them. The first thing I'm going to cover is characters. Over here are a couple of tabs. The first one is your chat tab. The second is your media tab, where you can search online for things. And the third one is the journal. The journal has all of the characters, handout, and any other folders that you want to add. To make a character, which is different than a token, we're going to add a character. This will bring up their page. We're going to name them their name, upload a picture, and then we're going to decide whose journals it's in. So it can be all players, or the only other player I have on here is myself, but you can have it to just specific people, maybe even a few people, but generally you'll want it to be in all players' journals, but controlled by one person. Now this is going to be important, so we're going to save it for later. You can even write down, a bio and stuff. You can write down notes that's only visible to you. So then when it's brought up, the players will see this part, and only you will see this part. Attributes and abilities are another thing that characters can use. If you have a character sheet selected, there will also be a tab for that. But this is the customizable attributes and abilities. I'll go over macros and stuff later on, but sticking to just characters and tokens. So we have a character. Maybe they have other things attached to them, like a character sheet and abilities. Now we move on to tokens. Tokens have a lot of information on their little wheel here, on their little cog. The reason we made the character first is because we want it to represent this character. So now it represents Crow. The name is here, and you can fill in these three little bubbles. They're helpful. I generally put HP in one, and AC in another. And then the third can be power points, it can be key points, it could be anything that you need it to be. If they give off an aura of I had a war chief who had an inspiring aura, you can even save that, and that will show up on the map. And then of course, notes and etc. The last thing you want to do when setting up a character and token together, you make the character first, you make it represent that character, and then for the default token you want to use selected token. Now the reason you want to make the changes to the token all first is because later on when you're on another map, you can just drag Crow and all of her stats will be in there. Her name, what she represents, etc. Everything is saved in that state. GMs can also do a couple of advanced things with their tokens. The player's permissions on what bars they can see, if people can see their name, you can make it so they can only see things instead of also able to edit them. You can change the bar location. And basically just play with these as much as permissions you want to give to your players. This is also where light comes into play. I'm going to do a dynamic lighting video next, but this is where all that's going to be, as well as this dynamic lighting tab. I'm going to be going over all that in a second. But in all honesty, that's it. The only thing I didn't cover is this little bar, which is status effects. Generally, I say this is bloodied, this is prone. You can use it for anything. This is defeated. And then the shapes and symbols are all very vague, so they can just kind of be used for whatever you need them to represent at the time. And you can even stack them. They'll stay in the order that you give them to. There we go. Now we know that she's dead, tired, also prone, and heartbroken. Great to know. Now it's your turn. use tokens and character sheets to modify anything you need to. There will be a macros video coming up so that you can set up your characters to even more specifications to make gameplay a little smoother. We'll also be doing a dynamic lighting video so that we can get into the vision part of a token and character. But until next time, I'll see you again when it's my turn.